What's up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. Something about the underdog. Today we have an absolute beast and the boogeyman on the Underdog Talk. But before we get into this interview, I have to give this gentleman a proper Underdog Talk introduction. Hailing from the depths of hell, today's guest is known for his huge and aesthetic physique. Some people call him a force of nature. Others call him the Boogeyman. This gentleman is a successful bodybuilder that holds 2 Arnold Classic titles, along with 4 IBB overall champion titles. I have to throw in the King of New York, a man who once said the only person that can stop you is you. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, I'm just going to call him the Boogeyman, Mr. Blessing Awodibu. What is up, big fella? How you doing today, man?
Man, hey, you mean something, bro? Don't you know I also got that title too? The funniest motherfucking bodybuilder on earth?
Oh,
Hey, now, come on now.
Fuck!
Yeah.
You see, I fucked up my intro. Fuck.
Hey,
I have
YouTube
to
that, bro. YouTube that. And see, you're going to see.
You see, and that is the thing that makes me so intrigued about you. Obviously, you are an elite bodybuilder.
Happen.
But you're also funny as hell because you've kind of broke the mold for bodybuilders getting into the mainstream of now, being a TikTok persona or being a YouTube persona. People know you more than just a bodybuilder, and I give you much credit for that, sir, because that is very hard. But I'm not here to talk about TikTok. I'm here to talk about you. And now, before we even start, Blessing, I saw a video of you rowing.
Wait, let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. First of all, my man, I gotta give you some flowers for your persistency, bro. Listen. And the name Underdog Talk, goddamn boy, I love it. One thing that caught me, one thing that caught my eye was, I think I saw you somewhere in the comments, the Underdog. I'm like, oh, who's this guy? And I kept seeing the Underdog. And I kept saying, when you gonna come on? When you gonna come on? I'm like, God damn, this guy don't stop. And I'm like, since I'm always see myself, I kind of operate with that Underdog mindset. So I click on your IG, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I like this. Maybe we can make this happen. And then you keep commenting. I'm like, you know what? Let's make it happen.
You see, now I just sound fucking annoying, Blessing.
No, listen, right there, I like it because there's a lot of folks out there thinking things are supposed to be given to them, at once. Maybe they're knocking on the door, they go deny. Maybe they're going for job interviews, they say no. And for them not giving up and keep knocking on that door until they receive that yes. So that's a good message right there.
Hey, Blessings, that just made my day. Again, we've talked to some wonderful bodybuilders on this show, but for you, I am honestly one of the most excited I've been because, like you talked about not giving up, you can relate to that as well as, I want to take it way back. You talk about how you were a scrawny kid growing up. You actually struggled with body issues. You would describe yourself as being too shy to even take your shirt off, fearing being mocked by people for your, at that time, small physique. Blessings, would you mind talking a little more about your childhood and then how it helped shape you into the man who you are today, sir?
Oh, man, my childhood's a little different, man. And it's something that I will always be grateful for because that's what made me to the man I am right now. I don't know if you ever saw some stories, and I tell these stories a lot, how I came from, a very poor family. We didn't live in the city in Nigeria. I grew up on the farm in the village, so somehow my parent was able to smuggle myself, my little brother, to Ireland. You know what I'm saying? So, when you're talking about, my body and then, as an African kid moving to Ireland back then, like 2002, there was no black people. Well, there are black people living in Ireland, but we moved all the way to the west coast of Ireland. We're like on the farm. We went from a farm to a farm. But hey, we're in Ireland. So, we grew up in this little town where there's literally no black people around. We were like the fourth black family in that town. And coming in as I was very skinny, bro. Like, listen, bones everywhere, and then coming from that situation to Ireland to where, you know, nobody knows, like, we were like nobody, we were like the first. So so I dealt with a lot of negativities, a lot of things growing up, trying to fit in, and you got to go to school, and kids making fun of you like a hungry African kids and this and that. And don't get me wrong, look, listen, Irish people are one of the nicest people on earth. They're absolutely, even the fact that we were smuggled, and they took us in. They took myself and my brother over to give us dream, give us life opportunity to dream and have education. That's huge. That's a huge opportunity right there. So I will always be grateful for it. But of course, when you go to school, you're a kid. Kids do kid. We mess around. We fuck around. So me dealing with all that, going from one school to another. I actually remember the first time we live in, we literally have to move out. We have to leave and go to different city, different town, because the trouble was so much. Myself, I wouldn't react to a lot of things that kid would be saying to me, being skinny, African, this, whatever that. I won't react because I was just so excited to be in this new environment, where, goddamn, we got shoes on our, electricity, we got refrigerator, we got electricity. These are the things that I did not grow up with, so it doesn't matter what kids may say to me, being skinny, being African, whatever. I will never react. But my brother is a knothead. He will react. He will fight. So we were getting kicked out of school like a couple of times. We have to move to different town. So I think that and that I think that's how I kind of developed this, kind of not hate for my body, just like kind of just ashamed, like the way I look. I became very cautious because every time I go to school, that's what the kids would say to me, like ugly African kids, So I became extremely shut down. I'll go to the beach and I would never would want to take my clothes off because I was so skinny. As you can see, it's because I got very, very small bones. And in bodybuilding, is actually a great thing because small bones, help you have to that illusion. So, and that's what drove me to the weight room. That's what got me working out. I just got sick of people pushing me around in school, and also in Ireland, right? We got this group of people they call travelers. I actually think travelers, I think they're the one that started the bare knuckle boxing. That's huge in Ireland and UK. So travelers, all they do is fight. All they do is make troubles. And especially if you're living outside the city, oh, listen, you will have to toughen up. So shout out to them. They're the one who got me to, start lifting weight. I just wanted to change the narrative. I hate, I kind of like got sick of being the victim. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of this. So listen, I started working out within 6 months. Of course, thanks to good genetics, I was able to put on lean muscle mass. Honestly, naturally, I gained lean muscle mass so fast because it was my first time, just like, 14, 15, 16 years old. I became very strong. And now I go to school, motherfuckers, you want to fight? Let's fight, until I was able to start earning my own respect. So
And
that was pretty cool and crazy too,
you know what? Fuck, that is crazy as hell. And I have to give it to you, Blessing. I mean, you alluded on it earlier about the underdog and its importance. And I always say there is something about the underdog because they truly are just the hungriest of
Yeah.
hungriest
Yeah.
people. I mean, that's simple what it is. And obviously, at the age of 18, this is when it kind of changed. You started finding that physique. You were big enough to enter your first bodybuilding show. Although you did not score what you necessarily wanted, you landed in fourth place, at the RIBF show. You still took a lot away. Talk about that. So, Blessings, what did you learn about yourself in that first show? And then, obviously, what did you learn about the sport you now love of bodybuilding, sir?
You know what? Let's take it back a minute, right? So when we moved to Ireland, right, given my background, from the worst, the poverty of the poverty, and my parent gave me the opportunity and making a huge sacrifice to get us to Ireland for better education, so we can get a chance to become somebody one day, and one day I can go home and change their life forever, So that's always embedded at the back of my head. My goal here is still go to Ireland and not waste a single bit of this opportunity that was given to me and become somebody. And it was crazy because you would laugh when you hear this. I actually wanted to become a doctor, I swear to God. And I studied my ass off. One thing in the African home, right? This African parent, they said this kind of like a, you know, they said this kind of thing onto their kids, like you either become a doctor, nurse, a pilot, or whatever, or you were disowned. So that was the mindset. You go there and become a doctor, anything outside there, you're fucked. So that was the mindset, going to Ireland and going to getting education and studying so hard. And then when was it? I think it was 2012 when I graduated and I was ready to go to college, right? And then I didn't have my Irish citizenship. Was it 2012? I'm sorry, I might be getting the years wrong. Yeah, around 2011, 2012. Then I didn't have the Irish citizenship, and actually, I was pretty good. I studied so hard, I got all my points, and I was actually I was over to study general science in the University of Limerick. So I can through that I can navigate into become doctor whatever. Because I love biology. Biology is my thing. So I got the point. I got the offer, ready to go to college. Sent him my application. Applied for, like, in Ireland, you can apply for a free education. Apply for free education, and I got a letter back saying I am not eligible for free education. Listen, my heart drops. Without that, I cannot go. I'm living with my brother, So I got five brothers and one sister. So when we moved to Ireland, I was 9 years old. We were living. My oldest brother became my guardian. So I was living with him. And my parents were back in Africa. So, and he also got four kids of his. So that's huge family right there, living in 3-bedroom house. So at the age of 18, 19, it was time for me to get the fuck out of the house and find my own way. And then trying to go to college because I didn't have the Irish citizenship. So I couldn't go to college, you know, because I can't get better, I can't get free education. I can't afford to fucking send myself to college. No money. I got to go get a job. So that really broke my heart. And throughout this time, I was still in the gym training. I didn't know nothing about bodybuilding. All I know was just being in my little shed and just working out. That's all I knew. You know. And then I started personal training when I couldn't go to college. And then I think it was 2000 and shit. I don't want to get shit around here. Was it 12? 2012 was when one of my best friends convinced me to compete, because I stayed lean all year. I was shredded. Like I said, I'm what you call it, ectomorph. So all I do is it doesn't matter how much I may eat. I will not get fat. I will stay lean. Even then, I didn't even know nothing about dieting, but I was just gaining lean muscle mass. So my mate forced me to compete. I'm like, no, I didn't know nothing about bodybuilding. I did not follow anyone that does bodybuilding. In this little town that I was in, I was literally the only guy, walking around with muscles on me. And people think I was weird anyways. People think I'm like a little weirdo, like always in the gym and fucking, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this a go. So I did my first show. Okay, I didn't win, but I got to meet Tony Freeman. Tony Freeman was the first IBB Pro bodybuilder I ever met. I remember looking at this dude. Dude, I don't know if you know Tony Freeman. He's got one of the craziest X-frame in the world. He had his red top on, and I was just looking at him like, wow, holy shit, is it possible to look like that? And it was funny. I got a picture with him, and he said he saw me on stage, and he goes, dude, you got what it takes. You just got to put in a little bit more work. That's a little bit more years. I'm like, you think so? He goes, yeah, give it another go. So this time I started dieting. Then I did another show. Oh, then I started winning. And I started winning. And then back in my head, remember, my purpose in Ireland was to become somebody in life, right? So I can go help my family out, you know? So I started winning. I started representing Ireland all over Europe. And then 2013, I got my first I got my first invitation to do the Arnold Classic Europe Juniors. So I did that show. I did not place. That was my second time representing Ireland.
Yeah.
And I did at the European Championship. So I didn't place. And then 2014, they told me to come back and compete again. So I said to myself, I'm done wasting my time here. I got people back at home depending on me. So it's either these or I gotta go figure some shit out. You know, I gotta quit wasting my time in the gym and, you know, traveling all over the world, you know, wasting money and all that. So I give myself one more chance. I'm gonna go back to the Arnold Classic 2014. My last year as a junior, I was 23 years old. And I had a guy helping me this time, you know, diet. Everything was on point. And I said, look, listen, if I do not place in this show, if I do not place in the top 3, I'm gonna quit bodybuilding and I'm gonna get a full-time job, make some money so I can go help my family out, you know? So to my surprise, I went into that show and I cleaned that shit, bro. I won my first international show, Arnold Classic Junior 2014, 23 years old. I was so over the moon, bro. It was crazy because that was my last chance.
Yeah.
So on that stage, I promised myself, I said, I'm going to Tom Pro on the Arnold Classic stage, and my goal is to become one of the best bodybuilders to ever do it. And I'm going to put every ounce of my sweat into this. So that's when I decided to really, really push on this.
Wow. And I mean, obviously, I don't know if you didn't even highlight one of my favorite wins. Obviously, you earned your your pro card at the IFBB Diamond Cup, which you were stellar in. I mean, what was that feeling like of becoming a pro? Because you worked your ass off, like you talk about. You gave your blood, you gave your sweat, you gave your tears. What was that feeling of finally hearing your name as an IFBB pro?
Oh man, it was crazy because. Okay, so after 2014, when I won the honor, right, I give myself a couple of years to Tom Pro, so I stepped away from stage. I did not compete because I'm like 5'11". I still need to, fill out my frame. So that's what I did. I stepped away from stage and put in a lot of work in 2017. And I was still working full-time as a security officer in Dublin, Ireland, IKEA. Wow. So I had moved from that little town to a big city to prep for 2014 Arnold Classic. Yeah. I give myself that last chance because, everyone thought I was weird and it was back in the little town. So I'm like, I'm going to go to the city where people don't think I'm fucking weird. So that's what I did. So 2017 comes around, working as a full-time security officer. I was like, you know what? It's time. It's time for me to do this. Yeah. It's time to turn pro. And also, I really want to give bodybuilding all my all, and just focus on bodybuilding. Yeah. So I make this crazy. I took this crazy step to step away to quit my job, and that was when Instagram was kind of like picking up, during that time, in Vines and all this skits and stuff. I was, you know what? I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna focus on social media, and I'm gonna focus on getting my pro card. It was crazy because I quit my job, right? And then I moved into my girlfriend's family house. So my wife now, married now. So Sarah's dad kind of like, give us permission to move into with him. So quit my job, move, because money was now no more job, no sponsors, trying to get a pro card, trying to make bodybuilding a full time, no job. So couldn't really afford rent. So I moved into my girlfriend family's house. Hustle, grind, started focusing on social media. I started making skit. Yep. And shit started going viral. And at the same time, I was prepping for my my first pro qualifying show. So the first one was I think it was Czech Republic. Yeah, Czech Republic. It was crazy because I won the overall. That was the first one. And then I didn't stop there. Then I went to another one. I think we went to Spain. Then we did a Diamond Cup. We won that one as well. Got my second pro card. And people were like, why is Blessing not stopping? And with me, marketing is a big thing for me. I'm trying to get myself out there. I'm trying to market myself all over the world. Yeah. And I'm in shape. And all these shows are available, so I might as well do them. And also, that year, there was another federation in Europe called the Elite. But before it was one with the NPC. But it was the same year, 2017, when the two were splitting up. So the IBB they they started awarding money for athletes. So at the end of the year to keep athletes in Europe. So they're saying to me, dude, the more show you do, the more wins you get more points. And then by the end of the year, you can cash out like 15 grand. You know, I never won any money out of bodybuilding show before. So that was big for me. So I started competing. I started winning all these shows, and including Arnold Classic Europe. That was huge because I promised myself to turn pro there. So I went to Spain, did the Arnold Classic Europe, won the super heavy, and then won the overall. Got my another pro card there. I went to Finland. I did the same, and then I finished at the World Championship. It was crazy year. I did like 6 shows back to back. You know, so it was crazy because my shit was trending on social media. My videos were going viral. I was traveling all over the world. I was competing. You know, it was, dude. It was, bro. It was like a start of something special for me. You know, that's when I started seeing like, holy shit, I can really do this. I can really do this and make money and go back home and take care of my mother. You know what I mean? So that was, dude, I had so much fire and so much motivation in me to keep going, bro. 2017 probably one of the craziest years for me.
I mean, and I remember you just running through a wall. I mean, that you were just a very, charismatic and a person that we could relate to, as a viewer. And that's really where we all started knowing, you, sir. Now,
Give me a minute. I'm sorry, bro. Give me a minute. My dogs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna run through the wall or something for me.
Oh, my man. Now we're running through walls now?
I thought you were gonna run through the wall or something. I didn't know you were gonna get your dog.
We're 8 weeks out from Mr.Olympia, bro.
Now, speaking of that, Mr. New York, you are now qualified for the 2022 Mr. O. And we had Sean Ray on the show a few weeks ago, and me and Sean were talking about how this is going to be the most epic Mr. Olympia ever. So, I mean, what are you going into this competition like? What's your mindset going in? And what kind of physique do you think you're bringing to the table this year? Blessings.
Like I said earlier on, one of the reasons why I came on this was the name, the Underdog. I've always been the underdog all my life. I operate, with the underdog mindset. Especially from 2021 when I started my goal is to have entertainment to bodybuilding. Change bodybuilding, put bodybuilding in the right direction. Put some positive lights. In bodybuilding, we're not just meatheads. We got talent too. We can be funny. We can be entertainers too, like the MMA guys. So that was what I'm trying to do. So in 2021, when I made my pro debut, and I started that little back and forth with Nick Walker. Everybody was hating on the Boogyman because they thought I was talking shit. And then when I showed up on my pro debut, looked the way that I did, and dude, the world came crashing down on me, and everybody was on my ass, and people rolled me out. I will never win a pro show. It's over for the Boogeyman. He ain't coming back. He's down and out, like the underdogs. You feel me? So 2021, 2022, dude, I was so angry, bro. I was in that fucking deep underdog mode, and I was ready to prove all the people that believe in me right. I was also ready to prove all the people that hating on me, that roll me off. I was ready to prove them all off, put them wrong.
Yeah.
So that was the mindset that I brought to the Indie Pro, destroying that show, and then going into New York and destroying that show as well and get my qualification to Mr. Olympia. And still, people don't believe in the Boogeyman. Isn't that crazy, bro? But I love that.
That is what
gasoline to the fire.
And not many people know that because the underdog and you're counted out, but you're there. You're there. Undervalued, underdog, but blessings to me. You are more than just an underdog.
Crazy
You are more than the
everybody
Boogie.
bets lose.
You, sir, are coming for it all, and I am so excited to see what you bring. And I think you're going to be a top contender. Okay, let me just say that to you now, sir. Now, blessings. I like to end this interview. You've seen it all in the bodybuilding world. You know, you've really given it your all. Again, back to that blood, sweat, tears. What tip would you give for someone who is looking to start their fitness journey? And then to add on to that, what is your tip looking for someone who's looking to become a professional bodybuilder like you, sir?
I mean, it's down to passion, you know. It's down to, you know, finding your purpose in life. You know what you like to do, what you enjoy to do. Most people want to become a bodybuilder because, oh yeah, they look at a guy and they're like, oh, that looks good, I want to do too. You know, so it's like one leg in, one leg out. You know what I mean? It's truly not who they are or what they truly want to be. You know, especially now we're in the era of social media where we compare ourselves. You know, we look at some guy and we're like, oh, okay, ta-da-ta, and we're all lost. We're confused, you know, because there's so much garbage out there. You know, so if I gotta give an advice to anybody, it's all about, you know, uh finding your purpose, you know, knowing who you are, what you want to be in life, you know, and not letting someone else's opinion dictating how you move or how you make decisions, you know. So it's down to passion, man. You know, and if this is what you want, this is what you love, we're in a really good era for fitness and bodybuilding right now. You know, there's a lot of tons of help out there. There's a ton of information. If you look at the right direction, there's a lot of garbage too, but it depends on where you look at. So you got to know what you want, you know, and that's it, man. If this is, and it is possible, because, and that's what we're trying to show, you know, because I know there's a lot of younger generation looking up to guys like myself, you know, all this top bodybuilders. So that's why I always trying to make this, you know, fun, engaging. You know, we're not just meatheads. You know, we can do a whole bunch of other things too. You know, we work hard. We can have nice things too. You know, and fitness, bodybuilding, it's a big business. You play your card right, you can really achieve great things. So if this is what you want to do your research, get a coach, take your time with it, do not rush it, do it the right way, and stay fucking healthy.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, sir. Now, blessings. I'd like to get my guests out of here with some rapid fire questions. Are you game, sir?
Let's go, baby.
Favorite cheat meal?
Seafood.
I like that. Okay, that's a good cheat meal. Get the protein in there. Go to post workout meal.
Salmon and rice.
Yep. Favorite bodybuilding pose?
What you mean, like brands?
No, favorite bodybuilding like pose. Your signature pose on stage. Front double bicep. What's your go-to?
Oh, pose. Sorry, my bad. Oh, front double bicep, of course.
Yeah. Talk like Rocky Balboa for the rest of your life, or have to box Rocky Balboa in his prime.
I'll box the fuck out of him.
Oh,
Let's yeah.
Go.
Boogeyman. What
Wow.
can kill Boogeyman?
Yeah, I like that shit. Pull-ups or chin-ups?
Chin-ups.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking with the man himself from the depth of hell, the Boogeyman himself. Blessings. It has been such an honor and privilege talking with you, sir. Now, before we go, is there anything you want to plug? Where can we find your content? You know, what code can we use to support you? The floor is yours, sir.
Listen, follow the Boogeyman on Instagram, Blessing the Boogeyman, Awodibu, TikTok. I'll be on there doing my little dance too, you know what I'm saying? YouTube, hey, I'm filming my, you know, just covering my journey to the Olympia. Make sure you subscribe, Blessing Awodibu on YouTube, watch my shit. That's pretty much it, man. Hey, keep supporting your boy. I love you guys. My goal is to change bodybuilding, make this bodybuilding a little bit more entertaining and more fun for you guys.
And you are doing exactly that, sir. Guys, do not forget to go check out Blessings. Follow him on YouTube. Follow all his things. I mean, you are witnessing greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, 2 underdogs out.